Hello and welcome to the Sunday League Pundits Show, episode 15. I want to start this week by something completely new.
Oh.
Right, I've got a fact of the week for you because I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah.
There's been so far, including two today, I might add, today's Sunday, including two today, there's been 63 penalties given in the Premier League so far this season.
Mm.
And there's one team with none of them. Not scored, this is penalties awarded. There's one team in the Premier League.
Is it Wolves?
Out of 63 penalties, that has been awarded none.
Is it Wolves?
It's
No.
not Wolves.
Because they scored one this week.
They did.
Okay, I didn't know that one.
I'm thinking Bournemouth.
Okay. They've also lost points.
Everton.
Everton have had no penalties awarded for them this season.
All right.
That's not against. They've had them against. But they've had
All right.
no penalties for them this season at all.
Yeah.
I heard that and thought it was interesting. But now I've done it, I may have to source more interesting facts going forward. So
I'd like to know how many claims they've had, or like VAR reviews for them having penalties.
That sounds like homework for tin ribs, that does.
No,
Yeah.
it really isn't.
Sounds like
No, I'm
homework
just
for tin
curious
ribs.
on that one because obviously saying that they've had no penalties can be a multitude of sins. Like with Wolves, you've got the whole decisions are going against them, for example, and Arna clattering out two of their players and nothing getting done. But are they in a position where they're not getting penalties?
I've no idea.
Or is it just that they're not attacking enough to get them?
To be fair, they
just
did
saw the
make
stat.
up for it because Wolves' penalty that they got against Man United, Casemiro's challenge, wow, that was soft. I'd have booked him for simulation and diving. It was a horrendous dive. He looked like his legs had been shot completely under him. I'm not even convinced that he was even touched that hard.
This month, right, the transfer window obviously has slammed shut.
Yeah.
As we were told. Arteta claimed during an interview that Arsenal have one of the thinnest squads in the Premier League, then followed that statement up by saying, we don't need to buy anybody. Arteta should not be a manager in the Premier League.
Yeah.
He is clueless.
I'm going to piggyback on that kind of sentiment, though, for a second, because in the Leeds forums, everyone was slagging off the fact that we didn't sign anyone until the last second. But they were saying, like, we're getting rid of this player's going, this one's going, blah, blah, blah. Why aren't we signing people? And I'm going to put it this way. I'm glad we didn't sign too many players. You know, we only signed the one, and the signing we did get on deadline day is, in my opinion, a very good signing and potentially what we needed. We haven't had a proper right back. We've been playing Archie Gray at right back. So to get the international Welsh player to continue our transformation into the Welsh international side is a great signing. And we've let a lot of players go. But people are saying, oh, we're letting all these players go and bringing no one in. It's January. Most of the good players that people want are not available. Anyone you want that isn't available is going to cost you excessive amounts of money to buy.
But I understand what you're saying, but you're also saying that you're piggybacking on the comment, or them filling it by saying you did sign the position you needed.
No, we didn't. We still could do with other players. There are other players required. What my point is we got rid of a load of deadwood or players who don't make the cut, and we didn't bring anyone particularly in. We tried to get a few players in. We didn't get what we wanted in. Over the last 2 seasons, we've made the mistake in January of buying players. I'm going to say something controversial, but all the Leeds fans will say this because I've had to listen to them berate and slag off the young lad. Jorginho Rutter, everyone, why is he a footballer? You're a fucking waste of space. Oh, they're all kissing his ass now that he's probably one of the best players in the Championship.
I was going to say, I didn't think he was that bad of a
he's
player.
phenomenal. And you could see at times, but because he wasn't the guy who came in, scored the goals and saved us, because everyone was banding around this fictional fucking record signing 36 million. We paid 28, 36 if he got all his things. So he's not a record signing until he fulfills his destiny. But everyone had already banded around that he was going to, he'd cost us this money. And the poor lad took nothing but abuse for the last half of last season. Nothing but abuse. Now that he's one of our best players, everyone's kissing his arse, and it's fucking ridiculous because it's so fucking two-faced. It's annoying. He's a fucking kid. And he's finally coming into his own. Happy days. So after having to watch all these people fucking U-turn on, oh no, shit, fuck off, and then all of a sudden, oh, we're the best player ever. Piss off, mate. You were slagging him off 4 months ago. That's
See,
not
this is
but
where, because
in 2 seasons in January, we bought players, spent a lot of money on players, and they've been wastes of space. I'm not saying Rutter is a waste of space now, but he was in January. He wasn't the signing we needed. And January is that pitfall where a lot of teams invest heavily on players they don't need or aren't performing. Because if you think about it, if you're going to go, I don't know, what does Arsenal need? A striker, right? So what strikers, let's be honest, was available in January? Because we all know you want Tony.
No.
Or Watkins.
Right?
50 million would have got Watkins.
No, I know.
I don't think Watkins would leave.
No, at the moment, I don't think Watkins would.
He's in Europe. He's scoring goals.
We're in
probably
Europe.
Gonna make...
We're in Europe. We're probably going to get top 4 again.
Yeah, but at the moment, Aston Villa are.
Yeah, but...
At the moment, Aston Villa are.
I don't know.
And Villa certainly aren't going to let him go cheap.
He's the main man.
Yeah. So what you got to think is, he's bedded in at Villa. He's probably their best striker at the moment. No, he is their best striker.
He's definitely their best striker.
Yeah. They're in Europe. They're challenging. I'm going to put this out there. They're challenging for the title. Arsenal aren't. Sorry.
Arsenal are nowhere near challenging for the title.
Whereas Villa are what?
I have to apologise
6 points
for that.
shy. They are up there, aren't they? They're in there.
Yeah, they've had a couple of bad
they're
results.
below us.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, he's not going to jump ship to a team where he isn't embedded, isn't in their system yet. He's going to take a few weeks to get momentum, and you're going to pay excessive amounts for him. So you know what?
Because it's what we need.
Yeah, but it's not going to be a viable thing because
the thing is we're not getting the guy from Italy or Spain or Portugal. It's a guy in the Premier League that can come in,
and he's English, so you've got the English tax as well.
Can come in.
You're going to be paying for a player that if it bought him at the start of the season was about 35, you're looking 70 plus. You could buy 2 players.
We spent 65 on Havertz, and if you've seen him miss 2 sitters today, this is why I don't think Arteta should be a manager. Right? Because all throughout last season, everybody I spoke to, Arsenal missing a striker. Arsenal missing a striker.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree.
Got Smith Rowe coming back. That's going to be a good signing, basically, because it's going to be like a signing. He's been out that long. You've got a good midfield now. You bought Declan Rice, looking really good. So what's he do? He goes buys a midfielder who is a meme at Chelsea. He's literally a meme as a striker. And what's he done today against Liverpool? Played him as a fucking striker. And what did he do? Miss a sitter. Okay, Saka was there to finish it. Not the point. He missed a sitter. Right?
No,
Bamford, had he been onside, would have put that away.
Yeah, but Bamford wouldn't have been onside.
Do you know what I mean? And this is what infuriates me. We bought a keeper that we definitely don't need because he was the reason we conceded against Liverpool just.
Yeah. No, I agree. But what my point is, I understand that even if you do need players, January isn't always necessarily the time to buy players.
I think, as the final word in this bit, I think Southampton's transfer business was decent enough. We didn't really need anybody. I would have liked to write back, absolutely. But I'm happy that we got Joe Rothwell. I think he will be a good bench player, a bit of rotation. He looks like he needs a bit of time to work. But David Brooks came on, looked quite good. Don't think Tim's too happy. I think he would have quite liked David Brooks. And hopefully he'll kickstart. And another lone player that I've got to try not fall in love with, like Flynn Downs. He was the one that I didn't mention last time. And Ryan Fraser. But it looks solid. We let Charlie Alcaraz go, which probably surprised a few people, especially in the EFL, because he scored a few goals and is playing. But I don't think he fits the Russell Martin system too much because he's more of a central attacking midfielder. But his work off the ball isn't as good. So because we play that higher line, you need the players to track back, and if he's going to lose the ball, puts us in danger. Yeah. So he's gone off to Juventus. I hope he plays for Juventus kickstart because the talk is he plays for Juventus, gets the minutes he needs, comes back next season as a Premier League player, hopefully. And
so you said hopefully. Not like you when you talk about your full of confidence.
But no, so him going, I'm not too fussed about that one because we've replaced him anyway with 2. I would like to write back, which but we'll deal with what we've got.
You can't have everything.
We can't have it all.
Well, that's how we feel about the transfer window ending. Arteta, you need to go. Play the music. Welcome to episode 15 of the Sunday League Pundit Show. As usual, you have me, Stretch, and my two very good friends, Tin Ribs and Jim Jam. So we've chatted about the end of the transfer window. I don't really want to go on about that because it was depressing for us. Rashford out getting drunk in Ireland, from what I can gather.
Yeah.
He
Sounds like a good idea. I
said-
like getting drunk in Ireland.
I don't think it's a bad idea at all on your time off.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, if I rang in sick and then one person at work went, actually, I saw him and he was doing this or this or this,
You'd lose your job.
I would
Or
get,
be very, very much in
I
trouble.
would get in trouble at work. Now, when you're Marcus Rashford and you've got such a small profile that everybody you meet knows who you are, apart from apparently the waitress, who had to ask him who he was, what he did for a living, and then Google him before then spending time with him. Shocking, that, isn't it? When a waitress decides to Google someone, realise they're worth millions of pounds, and then go, oh, actually,
Yeah, but the thing is, though, if you're not interested in football or something, a lot of players are no one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Footballers are only realistically famous in the light of the people who follow.
And that
football.
I totally agree with. Had it not been for the fact that Rashford was in the front of every single newspaper and every single news show for months because of his
in
work.
England.
You're not telling me that didn't travel over
The
to
Irish
Ireland?
fucking hate us. Why would they give him flying shit?
I need to know who to pinpoint, surely.
I mean, the other thing about Rashford, I'd love to know how many parking tickets he's got, because I quite often see that he's got a parking ticket because he's parked his car in the middle of the street.
I don't suppose he cares.
I was going to say, that's like going,
What's that, a 60
I
quid
tell you what,
Yeah.
can you do me a
It's
favour?
like-
You don't do that because I want 10p off you for doing it.
Yeah,
Who gives
to
a
be fair,
shit?
Yeah. I would literally dump my car anywhere if it was going to cost me like 15,
I
20p
know.
every time it happened.
It just pisses you off
Please
that
don't
you
park.
can't just park wherever
Oh,
you
please
want.
don't park there. It's going to cost you 10p.
You can, but all you got to do is win the lottery.
Yeah.
That's it, because he basically won the lottery when he got scouted. And
Yeah, so he's got to be on at least, what, 200 grand a week?
I'm not saying he hasn't put hard work in. He's
No,
certainly
no,
isn't-
but what I mean, if
certainly isn't at the moment, I'd like to add, but he has.
if he's
done
on
to get
200
to where
grand a
he's going.
week, say, right, he's on 200 grand a week, what is a £50 parking ticket?
Nothing.
It's pretty small, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It's fucking insignificant.
I mean, you were probably overdoing it by saying 10p for
I
it.
was overdoing it a bit, wasn't I?
Probably exaggerated
Just
somewhat.
needs,
A penny. Like a penny, mate.
penalise him more, doesn't he?
I couldn't agree more. But then
If
he
you
probably
have
did.
X
He
amount of
probably got
parking
fined like
tickets.
$500,000 by Man United for bringing in sick with a hangover.
You probably did.
So I imagine it probably did cost him more than £60.
They probably
fine.
fined him like 2 weeks' wages or something.
I don't think it's legal for the government to go, because you're a footballer, your parking ticket's now going to be, 130,000.
No, but if you say you get like 20 parking tickets in 1 year, then maybe you should be like banned from driving for parking like a cunt.
I mean, to be fair, he makes a decent argument.
I got
I mean,
nothing.
you can't really argue with that. I'm kind of with you on that. On Rashford, I will say that I watched Man U Wolves,
Yeah.
and Rashford did score the first goal of the game.
Yeah, he did.
But going back from what you said the other week, didn't look happy about it. The celebration was not like he'd scored a goal. It was like someone said that you can just have the next half an hour off work. It was sort of,
Yeah.
he was all right about it, but there was no real joy in his face.
He is a Manchester lad, isn't he?
Manchester born and bred,
Yeah.
Manchester United fan since he was out of the womb, and scored a goal and acted as though someone's just patted him on the back and said, "Oh yeah, nice speech." Just didn't look that bothered at all.
There's something wrong at the club. I mean, they're winning games.
There's gotta be something wrong
but
with the club
there is
because
Oh,
something
hang on.
wrong.
It sounds like
It's
a
his
familiar
club.
topic.
It's his club. So there's got to be something wrong there because that's his boyhood club.
Yeah,
And for United to struggle to get... Now, I'm not dissing Wolves completely because they're not a bad side. But for United to struggle the way they did against Wolves and then scoring in the 97th minute, by the way, it was a great goal by what looks like a fantastic young lad that's coming through. Maicon, is it Maicon? Something like that. Or Mainu.
Yeah.
Mainu. Looks like a teenage sensation. Looks like an absolutely fantastic player. But I don't think United should be winning in the 97th minute, albeit it's,
Yeah, but one goal proves nothing because you've got to think, was it Makeda? He scored a good goal against Villa.
Oh, I'm not saying he's going to be the next big thing, but he looks like he's got the potential to kick on and be so good.
They've got some right things going on at United, which is why they are winning games.
I will say,
struggling.
Did you watch the Wolves game?
Which one? Today.
Wolves Man U.
Wolves Man U. I watched parts.
Do you remember the last time they played Man U and we're like, they should have had a penalty for that because they keep coming out absolutely floored their forward. They got a penalty this time.
I know, well, we've just talked about that.
Dive.
I know, I said that.
Ridiculous. I've never seen
we just talked about it. We didn't talk about it with the microphone switched on.
Yeah, it wasn't recorded.
The intro.
Yeah. So that kind of made up for it. And they still lost the game because they went and conceded late on. So do you want to talk about some of the other games or do you want to go on to this task that we were set? Wasn't it you that set the task? I believe it was, wasn't it?
We can do the task first. And
we'll go on to the task then. And what I'll do is I'll start with one of the armchair pundits because Daryl has sent us a loyalty 11.
Yeah.
Okay. So Daryl's loyalty 11. I'm going to get the first one out of the way because I imagine he's going to be in everybody's squad on the planet. His left midfield is Ryan Giggs.
Yeah.
And I can imagine everybody's got Ryan Giggs at because not only did he go over 10 years, not only did he do over 24 years he was at Man United. So if you haven't got Ryan Giggs, then you've got a personal vendetta against him because he has to be in every squad.
I bet you Rodri didn't put him in his team.
Oh, I bet he probably did. Remind Robin.
Yeah.
Because he needs reminding.
Yeah.
His goalkeeper was David Seaman, which honestly, Daryl, if you're listening, mate, totally agree with it. Go chill. Left back, Leighton Baines. I can't see any issues with that. I think he's a good player as well as being there for a long time.
Yeah.
Right back, Coleman.
It's starting to sound like he's got a bit of a soft spot for Everton.
Yeah, when I first started reading, I definitely think he's got a bit of a Scouse thing going on because one of his centre backs is Jamie Carragher. Well, he hasn't spat at you yet. And his other centre back, completely agree with Tony Adams. Obviously, left mid Ryan Giggs. I just don't see anyone else getting in there. His right mid's David Beckham. I haven't checked that, but I assume Beckham was probably at Man United for over 10 years.
Yeah, he was.
Noble, centre mid. Mark Noble, great player. And Paul Scholes. I don't think anyone's really going to argue with that either. His two forwards are Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
Decent shout. Jamie Vardy.
Mighty.
Again, decent shout.
It's a different player. I didn't even think about.
I've got a few differences.
I've got differences.
Right. I'm going to run through mine. Now, I've written about 4 players in each position at one point, and it was a bit of a mess. So I then tidied it up, and I've written how many years each. So
hang on, since you've done the hard work and the thorough, in-depth thing, why don't we get people who didn't bother doing all that shit out of the way first? So we can
I'll tell you what, I'll just do mine, because mine literally went the name. So
okay, then
I went with checking goal.
Decent shout.
So right back, Gary Neville.
Yeah, I couldn't put that rat-nosed face prick in. Just couldn't do it.
You really like him, don't you? I've always thought that.
It was nearly, I was nearly thinking Lee Dixon, but then at the last minute,
what? One of the things that really, I didn't mind him as a pundit sometimes, but the thing that really fucking pushed me over the edge with that rat-faced twat was when Salford played Leeds in the Cup, and he was the pundit / commentator on the match. If you're at a match as a commentator, you can't be a biased prick. and he was so
I would
fucking
be
one way.
I
I
don't
just-
mind that.
I'm actually okay with that.
I'm okay with that. 'Cause
So,
like-
so you're okay with watching a game and everything your player does is shit, but everything your opponent does is fucking amazing.
Yeah, because I always
remember-
think they've got a bit of a
Yeah.
soft spot. for it,
like
so I'm
I
okay
remember
with it.
watching
Fucking
I
owner, the
Southampton.
owner of a club being the fucking commentator
Yeah.
on their channel. Yes, on national TV channel, go fuck yourself.
No, I remember watching
I wouldn't
Southampton in an FA Cup game and we were playing Swansea, so it was on BBC Wales, and they were really anti-Southampton for some reason.
I'm okay with it. I honestly,
But I was okay with it.
Personally, I don't mind that. I know you just hate Gary Neville. That would be like Granit Xhaka coming back and commentating on Arsenal.
I hate
game
him
round the
that
end,
much
and
that I
so-
will acknowledge him as probably the best right back to play for England.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Neville right back.
Neville right
so no surprise, Tony Adams at centre back,
Not
but
sure.
his centre back partner John Terry.
Yeah, John
Okay.
Terry.
I'm not behind that way of thinking.
Because
And
Carragher was overrated to shit, whereas John Terry was actually fucking boss.
And then at my left back, I went with
Yeah,
Dennis
not-
Irwin.
Dennis Irwin, great player. I actually
I didn't
had
think
it.
he was at Man United that long.
He's on my bench. Yeah, he was, but he went from the 80s into the Premier
yeah, I
League.
know that.
Yeah.
But yes, I had him on my bench.
Yeah.
I haven't done a bench,
Giggs.
but you know,
Giggs
it's one
on
of
the
extras.
left.
Giggs, fair enough.
Centre, Scholes and Lampard.
Same.
And then on the right, David Silva,
Ah.
Okay.
who did 10 years at Man City.
Yeah, I can get behind that. That's fine.
Alan Shearer up
Yes.
front. I'm beginning to think that maybe he didn't realise he actually did 10 years at Newcastle, but
No,
unless he felt bad.
He didn't play for 10 years, he was injured to fucking the
Yeah.
out of it. But yeah.
Yeah,
He was
played
there
every
10 years.
year. And then the other one that surprised me that he did 10 years as well, Sergio Aguero.
Okay. I can definitely get behind that way of thinking.
Yeah.
Okay,
Tin ribs.
so in goal, there's no surprise to who my goalkeeper's going to be. Neville Southall.
There we go.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, of course you were. Like I say, real soft spot for that bloke.
I mean, he was a phenomenal goalkeeper. So it's
Yeah.
not, you haven't put him in there because you like him. You put him in there because he's a quality goalkeeper.
Like I say, at the time,
But he is a quality. He was a
yeah,
quality
in the
goalkeeper.
mid
Probably
80s,
not that
he
great
was the best keeper in the world.
by some distance.
Yeah. So whenever we come to these goalkeepers and players and stuff, for me, he's always going in.
Yeah. I've got no argument with it. No
So
argument.
I've managed to have a little bit of Leeds bias on this, and my right back is Gary Kelly.
Yeah.
Okay.
One club,
Yeah.
I
fantastic.
definitely think
Yeah.
there's better
And I
right backs out there.
actually
But I
really
get why
like
you've
Gary
got him
Kelly.
in there.
I really like Gary Kelly. He's I think, to be honest, I think he was amazing, and he scored one of my favourite goals of all time, League Cup against Wigan.
Okay.
Centre backs Terry and Adams, who, let's be honest, if we could put those two as an English centre back partnership in their prime,
would have happened.
that's
That would have been pretty good.
yeah. I went with Leighton Baines, left back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually thought he was a good player. My left mid, but we can't guess.
Ryan Giggs.
And Paul Scholes, because again, one of the best
Can't argue
midfielders
with
Yeah.
Paul
ever.
Scholes.
Lampard had to go in there because, yeah, Lampard. My right mid, seeing as he's a party man on the radio, I went with Party Parlour.
Ray Parlour.
Because I knew other people would go for Beckham, so I sort of wanted to.
That's why I went a bit different with David Silva, because I thought,
Yeah.
you know, and it's why I left out Latisse from this one, because I put him in my team every single time, and I
Yeah.
thought, you know what, I'm
Well, that's
actually
it, you
going to
sort of
leave him
try-
out
Yeah, I
for
thought you
once.
was
Trying to make it a bit different. So I went with Ray Party Parlour as my right wing. And then my forwards, Jamie Vardy.
Mm.
And then
Fair enough.
Aguero, because I think Aguero is probably
Yeah,
one of my
I
favourite
can't-
strikers of all
I can't
time.
argue with either one. of
And
them.
not only is he one of my favourite strikers of all time, he scored that very famous Aguero goal, which meant that the Scum didn't win the title.
Yeah.
So that was even better.
Well, that's another reason for you to like him more and more. Right,
Absolutely.
I'm going to really surprise you now because I've just gone biased as I can possibly go.
I'm not surprised.
Right, so my goalkeeper, David Seaman,
Yeah,
who spent 13 years at Arsenal,
yeah.
and if we were doing it, my sort of people would have been Emi Martinez, who spent 10 years at Arsenal.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't know that, did you? Because
I
he
knew-
played for the last two.
I knew he was there for like the top
10
part of
years.
it.
Right back, Lee Dixon, 15 years at Arsenal.
Yeah, like I said, he nearly went in, but I thought
Left back, Nigel Winterburn, who spent 13 years at Arsenal.
he was close.
Centre back, Tony Adams, who spent 15 years at Arsenal.
Really, I wouldn't have thought so.
And my other centre back is Steve Bold, who spent 11 years at Arsenal. Now, I will mention
Steve Bond
that I had a left midfielder who missed out because he left Arsenal the year the Premier League started, and that was Perry Groves, who's been at Arsenal 11 years. So he would have been in it had he played in the Premier League, but he left the season it started. And one of my centre mids would have been David Rocastle, who'd been there 10 years. But he left the season the Premier League started, so I couldn't have them two, but I did want to mention him, especially David Rocastle, because he actually left the Leeds.
He did.
And one of the greatest players we ever had. So my right mid, Ray Parlour, who spent 15 years at Arsenal. Left mid, Ryan Giggs, because you just can't not, because he spent 24 years at Man United. Centre mid, I've gone for Paul Merson, who spent 12 years at Arsenal. And my other centre mid, who again would have been David Rocastle, but was Paul Scholes, who spent 17 years at Man United without that extra bit that he went back to. My forwards are Dennis Bergkamp, who was at Arsenal 11 years.
Nice. I didn't
know that. I'd have probably put him in ahead of Vardy, to be honest.
Well, there you go. My other forward, Wayne Rooney, spent 13 years at Man United.
Yeah, I don't think Bergkamp would have got ahead of Shearer and Aguero for me, but I might have.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's where I sort of stuck. I had to have Vardy because, like, any player that goes on. So it's like most players that go on the pitch, you see them do a little warm up and a very professional drink of water. Go on. There's Jamie Vardy, cans of fucking Red Bull. I mean,
he is one of the best at
shithousery whiskey the night before a game or something.
Oh mate, I love Vardy for that. He just,
when he scores a goal and he'll mock the away fan when he does his like whoever it is.
Had Rocastle and Perry Groves actually played in the Premier League, it would have been them, which would have been our full midfield as well. And had Henry actually spent more than 9 years at Arsenal, it would have been him up front.
How long did Vieira spend at Arsenal?
Vieira? 8.
8. Because he's
to be fair,
that's a major midfield if he
But I just want to point out another thing here. This goes to show a lot of these players were under Wenger. And it goes to show not only did he have the loyalty to stay at a club, but the players had that, you know what I mean? There was that, it wasn't a case of the turnover. Look at most clubs these days. It's what we were saying about managers with their longevity. You don't see many managers who have been at clubs for very long.
No.
If you're at a club for more than, say, 6 years, you've been very successful, for example, Jose Mourinho, or you've somehow managed to make the chairman believe you're good when you're not, like Klopp. Jurgen Flop, as I like to call him.
He won one title in 9 years, I'll have you know.
Sorry, 4 trophies in 9 years. Well, fuck me.
And Man United have won 5 trophies in the same amount of time.
Yeah, so that's the pisser. So we're all on about the fact that Man United have been in their slump since Fergie left and that they're shit. And yet Man United have won more trophies in the time that Klopp has been at Liverpool.
It's levels though, isn't it? It's expectation levels. So United expect trophies. Therefore, when they get them, they're expected. So that's fine. Put them to the side. When they don't win them, it's massive.
Yeah, but
Liverpool don't expect trophies. Their fans do because they're morons. But most
why do Liverpool not expect?
So when Liverpool do win one, it's massive.
But this is my point. This was my argument when I was trying to have a debate with a lad who's a Liverpool fan, when he was trying to explain that, they've won this and won. And it's like, it doesn't matter. You are Liverpool. You are probably in the top 5 biggest clubs in the world. Not just England, the world. We're talking, they are on par with Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United. They're one of them. They've won in 9 years, they've won 4 fucking trophies. And people will go, you've missed out on the World Club Cup. Who gives a flying fuck? It's a trophy no one cares about. No one actually cares about the World Club Cup.
Can I tell you your issue?
Tell me the teams that have won it for the last 5 years.
Nobody cares.
Exactly. No one gives a shit.
Nobody cares. Can I tell you where you went wrong with that? And it was very close to the beginning of that statement.
Go on.
I was trying to have a conversation with a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, you're right.
There is the problem.
But that's my point. Why is it that, like you just said, with Man United, there's expectation for titles and trophies
from everybody?
Yeah, but why isn't there expectation from Liverpool? They are one of those clubs. And it's like people were saying recently, it's Liverpool's to lose. As of this moment, Man City are 6 points behind them with 2 games in hand. And I know, as we said, and we will definitely be bringing up shortly, the whole, it's better to have points on the board than games in hand, which I agree with, and we'll bring that up in a bit for the Tractor Boys. But the fact of the matter is, Man City haven't lost a game from January to March in 6 years. And they've just got Haaland back, who's been the top goal scorer this season, despite the fact he's been out injured for the last 2 months. So if we honestly believe for 1 second Man City aren't going to make that 6 points up in the next 2 fucking games, you're a delusional idiot. So all of a sudden, we've now gone from Liverpool being in the position of losing it to they have lost it. Why? Why are we there?
What was Man City's score this week? Who did they beat this week?
Possible penalty?
It's not a penalty.
No.
I saw straight away.
Man City,
for
they
anyone
play
that doesn't know,
tomorrow, they play Brentford.
Play tomorrow. For anyone that's a little unsure of what we're doing, as usual, there's a game on whilst we're recording, and it is Arsenal v Liverpool. And at the moment, we had Havertz miss an absolute sitter, which luckily fell to an actual footballer, and Saka scored. And then we had an absolute calamity where it was fairly clear that Raya had called for the ball. So Saliba tried to leave it. Raya decided he just couldn't be bothered coming for the ball. And Diaz come in, stabbed the ball towards the centre of the area, which then bounced off Gabriel and went in for Liverpool's equaliser, which then went down as a Gabriel own goal, whereas what they should have done was arrested David Raya for being such a bellend and shouting for the ball when he wasn't even going to come for it. What a knob. Yeah, he's still on the pitch because, you know, he's Arteta's little bum boy, isn't he? So he's not going to go anywhere, unfortunately.
Guess what? He'll be playing
And
the
here we
next
go.
game.
Yet again, under pressure, hoofs it out, straight to Liverpool. Brilliant. Well done, Ryan. Superb. So yeah, anyway, that is our loyalty 11s. Which I do know at one point Max was working on, but they never sent me. So I apologise, Max, if you have actually done a loyalty 11. And if you do send it to me at some point, I will read it out next week, just because I know you were working on one. And
I'd be interested in that one.
He was struggling with a couple of his... he's a Liverpool fan, isn't he, Max? So he'll be Gerrard.
Carragher and Gerrard.
Carragher will be in it.
How long was
Gerrard will be in it.
Grobbelaar at Liverpool?
I don't know.
I don't know, but did he leave in '92 as well, just before the Premier League, or was he involved
No,
in
I
the
think he
Premier
was
League?
in the early Premier League. He probably wasn't there for that long.
Well, he came to us during his scandal.
Yeah.
Which listening to Franny Benali's autobiography, he kind of went into it and said he loved Grobbelaar as a bloke and that, but seemed surprised.
I've heard some great stories about him.
But he didn't come out and say, I didn't do it or anything. He didn't try to defend himself or anything, and he was kind of like...
I have heard some great
strange
stories about Grobbelaar, like how he was like confrontational in bars and stuff, just because he just was that fucking nuts.
He was an absolute lunatic, wasn't he? Let's be honest. But
what a clanger! What an absolute clanger!
For anyone, obviously, I say for anyone, none of you are watching it as you're listening to this. But we're going to go back to the Liverpool-Arsenal game where Alisson turned into prime David Raya, has come bursting out of his area, only to completely miss the ball.
Well, for once, we're not seeing Klopps.
Can I just point out one thing here? Can I just point out one little thing here, right? To all those Liverpool fans who bang on about how the only reason Liverpool haven't won the league is because they're having to go up against high-spending Man City. I just want to point out here that it was your world record expensive goalkeeper and your world record expensive centre-back who fucked that up to cost you the goal.
Against the team that have paid absolutely
Congratulations. Your no spending with the two world record expenditure players have just conceded a goal. Fuck you and your stupid sense of irony.
I might be able to screenshot that moment there and just add it on, because I know I can't put the video
on. It's a shame that Martinelli didn't put his hands out to celebrate before he put it in the back of the net
that would have been a bit, I think that would have been a bit more.
But yeah, that's the one that makes me laugh. Liverpool are saying that Man City are the big spenders, but they're the ones who've got the £90 million centre-back, the £90 million goalkeeper.
The look on his face.
I don't think he was quite 90 million, Becker, but he definitely was world record at the time. He was definitely world record at the time they signed him.
I'm sure it's in the 80s.
I saw a stat today, actually. I think it's still on the phone. I meant to write it down and I forgot. But there was a stat today on who paid how much before they got their first title win. Oh. And I think Wenger was 47 million. Alex Ferguson, bearing in mind he'd been there years, was 97 million. And Leicester, Ranieri had spent, I think, 180 million before he lifted his first title. Klopp, 534 million before he lifted his first title.
Guardiola's?
I think it was about 260 something.
Oh, hang on. So big spending Man City
That's paid
with-
half.
the 200 million, who's won loads of titles at their
They paid
big
half
club.
of what it took Liverpool.
But the reason that massive club Liverpool have only won 4 trophies, spending over double that,
Yeah.
can't compete because they can't spend the money. See, again, this is why Jurgen Klopp is a failure. He spends 500 million and hasn't lifted the trophy enough times.
Anybody that listens to this podcast or listens to me in any way, shape, or form, which I don't blame anyone if they don't, will know I hate Liverpool. But I do think calling Jurgen Klopp a flop and a failure is a little harsh.
9 years, 4 trophies.
I get that, and I get the sentiment behind it, but I do think it's a little harsh because I don't think you can call someone that's won the Premier League and the Champions League a complete failure. Because he has won the big trophies. He's won the FA Cup and he's won the League Cup. I'd love Arsenal to win the League Cup, right? Arteta.
You'd like them to win the fucking Champions League because you've never done that.
I'd rather if you give me the choice now and said you can guarantee to win one next season, the FA Cup or the Champions League, I would 100% choose the FA Cup because that is my favourite tournament.
No, I get that.
I love
You've
it.
never
Not
won
only
the Champions
that,
League.
I don't care. It's European time. I'm not arsed.
Okay.
I'm English. I'm an English person. I like English trophies, and the FA Cup is my favourite. Not only is it my favourite, but it's Arsenal's. We've won it more than anybody else in the country. And I'd like to continue that. So if you give me the choice now, and you guaranteed me Arsenal would win one next season, albeit it's not going to happen unless you change the manager, I would pick the FA Cup 100%.
To be fair, it's our only major trophy.
I love the FA Cup.
I love the FA Cup.
I make no bones about the fact that I love the FA Cup, and it's my favourite trophy. No bones about it, because I'm not ashamed about the fact that I love the FA Cup. Some people now seem to think it's bad to like the FA Cup because there's so much talk about we're going to get rid of the League Cup and we're going to demean the FA Cup and we're not going to have replays and this, that and the other. Lower league teams need them replays. They're really important. And all these ideas they've got, like, what if a Prem team plays a lower league team, we'll just have it at the lower league ground. Well, then people aren't going to be able to go and watch it. You're not going to be able to get 80,000 people going to watch Nuneaton Borough or bloody Stafford Rangers or whoever it might be. You know, Newport County getting through.
Alisson signed for £66.8 million.
Which was a world record fee.
Still is, I believe.
Anyway, we're going to stop rambling now. We're going to go for a break. And we shall see you and talk to you beautiful people very shortly. Hello and welcome back from the break. We've had quite a long break. We finished watching the Arsenal-Liverpool game, which was very disappointing. Arsenal have smashed Liverpool 3-1 and we didn't get to see Klopps' teeth again. It was very satisfying and also a little disappointing because I thought we'd win 2-1. So
I'm okay.
So we are going to go into predictions in a minute, but first we have some big news. We did the draw last week live, and Ailey and Jay won it. Jason won the raffle for the Everton shirt, which some of you may have been wondering, why haven't they put the clip up of them delivering the Everton shirt to the winner? It's because there's 2 reasons. One is because Jason is my cousin, and he's not actually a football fan in any way, shape, or form. He only really subscribed, commented to help us with our algorithms and to get us about because he's nice like that. He's a very helpful kind of chap. So what he's done is he's told us that he will still like and he'll stay subscribed and he'll still comment next time, but don't add his name in. So we're going to re-raffle it probably. But we're going to ask them, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to re-raffle it, or do you want us to just re-roll the same one without Jason in it? It's up to...
Obviously, now that we're talking about it on here, that it's there, just extend it for a week. They've got till next week. Everybody who's already in it is in it.
Yeah.
Technically, we'd have to give them 2 weeks because the actual thing doesn't get released.
Oh, yeah, of course. So if we give them 2 weeks...
So what's the date in 2 weeks, then?
Oh, now you're asking.
Yeah. Stop putting your phone down. I told you, don't. Keep your phone in your hand.
I tell you what, make it easy.
He's the
give
one
it away first week. Get it first Sunday in March.
It'll be the 18th.
Give it away.
Should we do that then? The first one in March.
First one in March.
Although I will say,
So-
I didn't talk to you guys about it, and I was meant to, and we're actually on the pod now, aren't we? Everyone can listen to it. I'll talk to you about it afterwards. But we're going to change the first one in March because I need to do it on Saturday if possible.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because the North London derby's on between the women, and I've got tickets for me, Zach, and Ethan to go and watch.
Yeah, sweet. No,
Going
that
down to the
that
Emirates.
actually works for me because I'm actually working.
Brilliant. Right, so we're doing it on Saturday the what?
Saturday the 2nd.
Saturday the 2nd of March, we shall be doing another raffle. I think what I'll do is, if you've already got your name in the hat, I'll keep it in, so you don't have to do it again. And if you want a chance to win the Everton shirt, go to YouTube, subscribe, like, and you have to comment #Everton shirt, because I did get a message off somebody saying, I subscribed to your channel and you didn't put me in the draw. I'm like, well, firstly, your name's hidden on YouTube, so it doesn't tell me that you've subscribed to me. It just says I've had a subscriber. And secondly, you didn't comment. That's why people ask. You need to comment on YouTube videos, is because a lot of them are hidden. Even without knowing, you've hidden your tag. So that when you subscribe to somebody, it literally just says you have a new subscriber. It doesn't tell you who. So if you want a chance to win the Everton shirt on the 2nd of March, was it?
Yeah,
2nd of March. Just go to a YouTube video, any YouTube video, subscribe to us, like the video, and comment #Everton shirt, and you shall go into the draw with the other 18 that are now in the draw, not 19, and we'll redraw it on the 2nd of March.
Are you going to do the prep work and actually try and get it so we can do it on YouTube this time?
No, that's exactly what I'm going to do this time, because I didn't expect it to be such a hash job last time. So it will be done a lot better. Fingers crossed next time. And thank you very much for Jace. I really appreciate you giving it back and letting us re-roll it. You even said before the draw, you went, Jason's the only one on the list that doesn't support football, and I bet he wins it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then Alexa then ignored me when I asked her to pick a number, and then picked Jason's number. I probably shouldn't have given him my football number, really, should I? And they pulled out 14 and give it Jace. So thank you very much, Jason, for giving it us back. And anyone else that's already commented, you're still in the draw. You've still got a chance. And anyone that wants a chance, go to YouTube, comment #Everton shirt, you're in with a chance. So what I'd like to do is to move swiftly onto the predictions. It was a very, very depressing week for everybody apart from me this week, because I did quite well for a change.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen very often, but I've had a good week this week. So Bristol City versus Leeds. The predictions were quite high, really. I thought 3-1, Tin 2-0, you 3-0. J 2-1, Daryl 3-1, Max 2-1. So they were all great, and it was 1-0.
Yeah.
So it wasn't quite what we were expecting. So everybody gets a point on that game.
Damn, their keeper for some absolute cracking saves.
Actually, yeah, he was pretty busy.
He was good. He was good.
He was pretty busy. He did quite well. It was a bit like reminded me of was it the Maidstone game?
Yeah.
Where the keeper was just bombarded constantly, but kept it all out. Fair play to him. He did really well. Then we had Rotherham Saints, which did end 2-0 to Southampton. Uton thought 4-0. Jim Jam, you thought 3-0. J 2-1. Daryl 3-0. Max 3-1. I, however, thought it would be 2-0. And I get 3 points. So I'm quite pleased with that. Now, we move on to the big one. The big one. Arsenal versus Liverpool. Which I remember sitting here saying, Arsenal are going to lose this game, but I can't bring myself to put that Liverpool are going to win. So I'm going to put Arsenal down for a 2-1 win. And Arsenal won 3-1.
You know what? I'm actually quite glad that you lost the bonus points on that.
Yeah.
Just because.
Because I didn't deserve it. Because I didn't do it because I thought Arsenal were going to win 2-1. I'm with that. Plus, 2 of the goals that Arsenal scored, in fact, I'm going to go say all 3 of them, were goalkeeping errors.
Yeah.
Because the first one, he didn't have to push it straight into Saka when Havertz inadvertently and pretty much guaranteed was to hit it straight at him. And the second one, I'm going to have to find a screenshot of that and put it up.
Yeah.
I can't put the videos up because it blocks it from YouTube, but I wonder if I just put a screenshot and cut off the Sky TV thing, whether or not it would let me.
I think
put a
screenshots are
screenshot.
okay.
I think
Should
I
we look
be able
and
to put a
see
screenshot.
what they put down as his rating, Alisson?
It would be interesting because the
Should we
third
see-
goal went straight through his legs.
So
and, was
what are
easy
we
enough
predicting? So
it's got to be 4 points somewhere.
I can't see what it is.
It's got to be 4 points somewhere on it today. Got
4.7.
4.6.
4.8. I'll go with
4.7.
4.7. Yeah,
We were all pretty close.
Yeah.
He was pretty bad.
he
was
was
awful.
awful.
However, I was the only one that had Arsenal down as a win. Tin had it down as a draw 2-2. Max had it down as a draw 2-2. You said 3-1, Jim Jam. Jay said
Well, Jam
2-1.
got the right results, just the wrong way.
Yeah.
Jim
I mean,
Jam
right
did
score.
get the right score, but
Yeah.
you had.
I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with you getting 1 point. I wouldn't have been happy if you got 3 points, but I am okay.
I wouldn't, because I'm slowly falling.
Yeah, well, totals. I mean, this week's total was I got 5 points. Tin, you got 2. Jim, you got 2. Jay got 2. Daryl got 2, and Max got
2.
So that leaves Daryl still heading us up with 20 points in total. Jim and me, Jim and Stretch are in second with 19. Tin is languishing it. Well, are we joint second then? Because you had a complaint the other day saying you're not joint second because your goal difference is worth. And if the league table stopped now, you'd be third. So you're third. So
If we were
joint
determining a winner,
second?
we'd have to. Whoever got the most correct results would.
I'd just go
Be
with
the
full
winner.
point this fight.
Right. I think we're both on the same though. Oh no, I've got 2, you've got 1. So
Yeah.
okay, so I'm second with 19 points. I like that. You're third with 19 points.
Let's change that up.
I'm just throwing his own thing back out from the other week because I remember you saying it. You're not second because if it finished now, there's no such thing as joint second. You were saying. So Tin Ribs is in 4th, behind 3rd place. Jim Jam.
Yeah.
I keep mentioning it. And then Jay and Max.
How many points have I got?
Jay and Max are equal points, but we're going to go with Max in 5th because he's had more correct results, and Jay in 6th, but they have both got 13.
And what have I got?
15.
You've
50. So
you've got
4
15.
points behind you two.
You're 4 points behind us 2, and you're 2 points ahead of Max.
I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about this bloody forfeit.
Yeah, that's yours. You're only 2 points ahead of Max, who's done really well, and Jay, who's never watched a game of football in his life.
Yeah, great.
Well, mate, no, he has been to one. He said he'd been to an England game over in Germany years ago because he won tickets or something.
Oh, joys.
So, yeah. You wouldn't be saying "oh joys" if it was September the 1st, 2001, would you? And he went over and watched us win 5-1.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that game, by the way, but yeah. So that is the predictions game. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for next week's predictions.
Can I give you my answers next week?
I'm going to go with no. I want him to be really outlandish this week, just be massively wrong. So we're going to go with Leeds, Rotherham, and I'm going to let you go last on all of them.
Oh, cheers,
I feel sorry for you. So Jim Jam, Leeds, Rotherham.
I bet I know what you mean.
Oh, 3-0 Leeds.
3-0 Leeds. So we'll just stop asking him. It's always 3-0, isn't it? Right, so
Always 3-0.
I'm going to go 2-0 to Leeds. Because 2-0 served me well this week, so I'm hoping it's going to serve me well next week. Tin Ribs.
I think we're going to make a meal of it in 2-1.
2-1 to Rotherham. 2-1 Leeds. Yeah, so I've got that one for you. Southampton, Huddersfield. I know nothing about Huddersfield. I have watched some of your games, Tin, and I have watched some of your games, Jim Jam. Huddersfield is a team that I haven't watched this season. I don't even know where they sit in the
they're
table.
either third bottom or just outside the relegation zone.
So
They haven't lost in a few games. They won their last. They won 4-0 yesterday.
They're going to win 4-0 again.
And then they've drawn 3 games previous to that 1-1.
Huddersfield 4. No, I'm going to go for a. I'm going to go quite convincing. In fact, I'm going to steal your result.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Southampton 3, Huddersfield 0. Jim Jam.
I'm going to go 2-1 Southampton. I think, like Tin just said, I think it's going to be. We're just going to scrape through.
Okay.
I'm going to go 2-0 to Southampton.
2-0 Southampton. Okay.
Huddersfield, for the record, on that, are 3 points clear of relegation.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're 21st.
Yeah.
They're not particularly. And yeah, they may have won convincingly 4-0 at the weekend, but it was against Sheffield Wednesday, who are languishing.
The last game we've got for the week is West Ham at home to Arsenal.
Redemption 3-0 Arsenal.
3-0 Arsenal. I was going to say 3-0 as well. I don't know. In fact, I thought it was 3-0, so I'm going to put 3-0. I'm not going to change it just because we've gone 3-0. So.
I'm going to change it because I need the difference. I'm going to go with 2-0.
2-0. So we think Arsenal's defence is going to hang up, even though we've just seen what they've done tonight. Brilliant. Kind of shocking. So, yeah, what we're going to do now is the two of them are going to have Footmob open, and we're going to talk about some of the games that have happened this week.
So it started on Monday with Blackburn.
We're going to have a special mention to Blackburn because Daryl does get involved in a hell of a lot on the show, and he is a Blackburn fan, and they had a bloody good week. And they won 4-1.
Against Wrexham.
That's not a bad result, to be fair, is it?
No, they just won it convincingly.
Very convincing.
Yeah. So then Tuesday, Arsenal played.
We did.
I didn't watch it. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. And I remember being disappointed.
Yeah.
We need a striker. I say it all the time, but we need a striker. We've just finished a fucking transfer window. But we need a striker. We are short. And I'm sorry, but we're not good enough up top.
Adebayo's a good striker.
Do you know what? I'd take him at the minute because I've seen what Havertz has done tonight. Look, they're actually showing a replay of Havertz smashing it straight into Alisson, who, let's face it, tonight, I couldn't catch a cold.
So if you don't know who Adebayo plays for, he plays for Luton, and they won 4-0 against Brighton.
Absolutely
fantastic.
I would like to say we are going to get to it, but they've scored 8 goals in 2 games, Luton have.
Yeah. Then Crystal Palace beat Sheffield United. No real surprise there. Newcastle beat Villa.
That was a little
3-1.
surprising.
That was a bit surprising,
was a little bit
especially with
surprising.
Villa being at
What's
home.
really weird was, just prior to going into it, a lad who I work with who's a Villa fan said, I think Newcastle would destroy us tonight. And he started saying, like, he just had this feeling that things weren't right and something was going to go wrong. So, obviously, when it finished 3-1, I was just like, how did you know? He went, he just had that feeling that it was not going to work that night.
Sometimes you do on your own club, because I remember sitting here when we were predicting the Arsenal Palace game.
Yeah.
And I said, I've just got a feeling Arsenal are just going to smash them.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but it's reached that point in the season where I just feel this is what's going to happen with Arsenal.
He just knew Villa were going to lose.
Like, that's why I predicted Arsenal to beat Liverpool. I just knew it was going to happen. Anybody that listened to the pod last week knows that's absolute horseshit. I didn't think we'd beat them at all.
So Wednesday, the game I watched was Liverpool-Chelsea, and Liverpool really battered Chelsea.
Wasn't that, again, a bit like a Maidstone game where they just hammered them from start to finish?
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea could have had a couple penalties, so I think they are was very kind to Liverpool.
I did hear that on the radio. I didn't watch
Liverpool.
the game, but I heard it on the radio.
Yeah, so Liverpool managed to get their result. But I will give a big shout out because I know we were linked for a loan move for Connor Bradley. I think his name's Connor Bradley. So definitely Bradley is his last name anyway.
I think it is.
And I was like, who's he? I don't know a lot about him and stuff like that. But what a game he had. Definitely man of the match. He was superb. And I was saying in the car with Jove, who's a Liverpool fan, and he said, he feels bad that Trent will come back in the side. And I think he's a better player because he does the defensive work.
I just want to ask, how'd that go down? Because Trent Alexander-Arnold is literally the blue-eyed boy that the sun shines out of his arse in all Liverpool fans' spot.
He actually agreed with me in the long run because his statement was he's better attacking, and I goes, did you not see the balls that he was putting in the box? So overall, I think potentially he's going to be the better player. So I think that Trent's got to watch himself because I think somebody might be coming in for his spot.
Trent's got to watch himself next season.
Yeah.
When a new manager comes in and may look at it and go, actually, you're not all that.
But then Jota was superb as well. And I will say,
he's a good player.
Liverpool were, as much as we hate to say it, they were superb against Chelsea. I don't think it was the fact that Chelsea were overly bad. I think Liverpool were just superb.
I mean, they have been pretty bad over the last couple of games, but
Yeah.
What is it with Chelsea though? They're either really good or really shit. They can't seem to
I haven't seen that really good thing for a little while. I'll be honest.
Who was it they absolutely demolished the week? Hold on.
I'm not sure they could finish their dinner at the minute. I'll be honest. I think they've been
Middlesbrough?
Middlesbrough.
That was quite a comeback.
It was, but I mean, with all respect to Middlesbrough, they're not really on Premier League level, are they?
I mean, that was obviously we didn't mention that last week, where the EFL Cup final's been decided, and it's Chelsea versus Liverpool.
No. You were right. It's been decided. There's no way Chelsea are going to beat Liverpool the way it's going at the minute. Although, if Alisson decides to pull that sort of performance out against Chelsea, he has been shocking. So I'm stunned at how bad Alisson has been tonight. It's been absolutely embarrassing. I normally sit here and slag Raya off, who, to be fair, was shocking for Arsenal's goal. He clearly shouted for the ball and then didn't come out for it. But Alisson, for me, has been at fault for all three.
Yeah.
Been absolutely shocking.
Man City did their usual. They beat Burnley. They're on their comeback. They're hot on the heels of Liverpool now. Probably now in prime position.
It's the New Year stage, though, isn't it? City just don't lose.
And Haaland's back.
Yeah.
And then
because he was on the bench, wasn't he? At Burnley?
Should we start with West Ham? Were quite poor against Bournemouth.
Looks a little bit like Barbie, doesn't he, Haaland?
You put Barbie in a microwave. Sorry, I absolutely love the bloke.
Yeah.
But
wow.
Did anyone ever watch Ghostbusters 2?
Wow. If you put him
he is
in
Vigo!
A microwave. Wow.
He's Vigo the Carpathian playing football.
Jesus.
So we'll go with one game first. So we'll mention a game. So Real Madrid beat Getafe, and there's a bit of trouble for our golden boy, best player in the world, Jude Bellingham. He's in trouble for telling the truth.
Oh,
controversial.
Go into it then.
Please do.
He may have. It appears that he called Mason Greenwood a rapist.
No, it doesn't appear. He called Mason Greenwood a rapist on pitch.
No, they're hiring lip readers and stuff to lip read the fact that he blatantly called him a rapist.
You don't need to hire a lip reader. I can't read lips, but I can tell you that he called him a rapist. It's pretty bloody obvious. There's like 400 cameras around the Bernabeu.
And they're on about getting bans and stuff like that.
Why?
Because he told the truth, and Getafe are very upset.
Oh, any of you
I don't think
this is your fault for crying and complaining about everything in the world.
I think Greenwood's just
you can't even
drop
call
it. I don't think
anymore.
He's instigating it or anything to say he needs banning and stuff. He kind of just wants to get on with it. Because
he knows he's in the bloody wrong. So I blame the society of today. Honestly, we're getting worse as well. So can we all just stop being snowflakes?
We'll move on. Wolves Man United. Bit of an entertaining game.
It was entertaining. There was, as we mentioned earlier, a clear dive.
Yeah.
Where Wolves should not have had a penalty. It was. Have you seen it?
Oh,
absolute joke.
Unfortunately, I was working nights this week, so I just didn't see anything.
There was very, very little contact, if any.
I know.
I'm not even sure if there was any contact. It was a joke. But they deserved a penalty because they should have had one the first time they played Man U, although that would have actually changed the result.
I mean, I'm sure the fans were very ecstatic with Neto's last-minute goal until Man United decided, oh no,
that's not the last minute, mate. This is, and we'll get another one.
Good finish.
It was a great goal, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Great goal.
Then we've already spoken on Friday. Leeds went up to second. And we said it before before Southampton play again, Leeds can go second in the league. Although we will have 2 games in hand, you'll get points on the board, and sometimes points on the board is much better than that. Now I know that we are now second, and we're second in our own right now, so it is in our hands now. Because Ipswich are now falling, and
that's it. That's where it comes in, though, isn't it? Ipswich had 2 games in hand.
I think we said that on the very first pod that we did.
Yeah.
Way back in October.
Yeah, I've been saying Ipswich will fall apart.
November. Was it end of October or beginning of November? The very first pod we did. and you said it won't last.
Yeah, I told you it wouldn't last.
Yeah, but we've got recorded evidence.
Oh, I know.
But when you go 21 games unbeaten, it's not surprising that we're now
But it's
second and pulled back all
You've had
them
a
points.
really good run, haven't you?
Yeah. But it's like when you said you'd rather have the points on the board than the games in hand. Effectively, at the end of the weekend, we could have gone back down to 4th. We put the points on the board. Southampton knocked us down to 3rd. And the Tractor Boys fucked up again. And they're now 4th.
And they can still go above you if they win their game at hand.
They can, but again, have the wheels come off.
We still need to win that game in hand to get them 4 points. Because I'm sorry, when we're going to Ellen Road last game of the season, I want them 4 points.
Yeah.
When we play,
it's only 3 points.
Goal difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I want them 4 points before we play Leeds, because when we play,
our goal difference is better than yours.
Yeah, and the fact that we've got to play Leicester, Ipswich, Leeds, West Brom, all away. Yeah. So our running is probably tougher.
We've got Southampton and Leicester, and they're both at home. And at the moment, I would take anyone at Ellen Road.
Yeah,
even a United shirt.
I saw a really good post the other day. Clearly, a Man City fan who wrote it, and it just said, "Now that Villa have lost, there are only 3 teams in the English divisions who are unbeaten at home. 2 are 2 of the best clubs in the world. The other one is Liverpool." Thought that was quite funny. It was on a Man City forum thing. It's quite funny.
So then we moved on to the weekend. So I'll go with one. So we let Mason Holgate go, or Everton recalled him.
Yeah.
He wasn't good enough for us. He was shocking in most games that he played for us and was definitely a defensive liability. So he got recalled from his loan and went straight on loan.
Yeah, he went straight on loan. Now, I'm quite happy with this because the team beat Leeds United to this signing. Now, at the moment, I don't think we have a particular problem with our centre-backs. I think Strauch, who's injured, is doing a damn good job. I think Rodon is a definite need to sign permanent contract. He's phenomenal. And then you've got Cresswell sitting on the bench. You've got Cooper on the bench. I think we're okay. We were linked with him.
You were linked with Holgate, were you?
Yeah, he chose Sheffield United over us.
Oh, and he went straight into their team. I mean, his rating was 5 out of 10 because Sheffield United got demolished by Villa.
Yeah, that didn't go over
in the first half, and Holgate had a nightmare.
So we dodged a bullet on that one.
Sorry, if you're not good enough for a team that's towards the top of the championship, guess what? You're definitely not good enough for a team that's fighting relegation and you're bottom of the league.
Correct.
There's a reason he's not playing for Everton.
Yeah, if you're
there's a reason he's not in the Southampton starting lineup every week.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a reason that if he stays in Sheffield United team, they're going to get relegated.
I mean, that is the irony, isn't it? Everton are in a relegation battle of their own, and they loan their own player out to
defensive player
to another relegation battle team.
Maybe it's to shore up the relegation for Sheffield United.
You go play for them.
Maybe it's smart.
We haven't got to worry about that.
Maybe that's smart business. Let's get him out of a championship team where it won't affect us and get him in the Premier.
Do you reckon Forest are built for a swap deal? Because I'd be quite happy at this point to swap Kai Havertz for Morgan Gibbs-White. I'd rather have Gibbs-White at Arsenal than Havertz, 100%.
I think you'd take Chris Wood as well, wouldn't you?
No.
Really?
No.
You wouldn't take Chris Wood?
No, because he reminds me of fucking Bentner. He reminds me of Bentner.
I'm pretty sure Bentner would be playing better than Havertz up front at the moment.
He probably would, but I still want Ollie Watkins up front, and I would have.
That's not going to happen.
I would have gone out and bought him in January, but there you go.
So, what other games?
I'd like to have a special mention.
Yeah.
To Macclesfield.
Yeah.
1-2-1 against Bamber.
Came back.
I
thought they went 1-0.
They went 1-0,
but then they pegged us back. They went 1-1, and then Rooney scored an overhead kick, make it 2-1. Great goal, great win. Well done, Mac. Come on.
Everton drew 2-2 with Tottenham last minute.
Can I just say,
really
Richarlison has all of a sudden started scoring.
Oh,
He's doing
great
quite well,
form.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
But those 2 goals are 2 of the best finishes I think I've ever
Yeah.
seen him do.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool goals, yeah.
And then, did you see the first one? He goes to celebrate it. Oh, yeah, I won't.
Yeah. Respectful. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, I sent that video
you sent
and
me was
he
hilarious.
was going skits about Richarlison.
Yeah, there was a video. You have to send me that, actually, or send me a link to it or whatever, and I'll try and get that on the actual, on the
You've
edit.
already got it.
Huh?
Yeah,
Oh, have you sent it into the
chat.
group?
It's in the chat.
Oh, that's right, yeah. I'll try and edit that into
Yeah.
the actual thing then, so people know what we're on about. But let's just say that an Everton fan was less than pleased that Richarlison had scored 2 against them.
He proceeded to beat the shit out of his former Everton
But then
Richarlison
it does
shirt.
show the difference between Liverpool and Everton, doesn't it? Everton get upset, they punch the shirt with Richarlison's name on. Liverpool get upset, they set fire to Gerrard, who they've now said is the greatest player in history, but they still set fire to his shirt.
He didn't even leave. At least
even
Richarlison left.
There you go. And scored against them before they got that angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was just a thought of Gerrard leaving, and that was enough to start a bonfire with his shirts.
And
I
then
wonder why I think they're scumbags.
our soft spots team had a great result at St James's Park.
I'm going to go with Luton. Luton Town have scored 8 in 2 games.
Yeah.
I'd take their striker.
Yeah.
Wouldn't take Chris Wood, but I'd take their striker. Because he's on fire at the minute.
Yeah.
And he looks good as well, to be fair.
I don't know what it is about Luton, but I think it is just the fact that they are this little team. They've not particularly invested huge amounts because they haven't got the investment. Their ground is literally a shed off a terrace street.
Do you know what the ground reminds me of? Do you know when somebody abandons their football stadium and then
they build houses around it?
and you get all the greenery that grows through it?
Yeah.
It looks like someone's built a housing estate and a football pitch has grown through it in the middle. It's just mental,
it just looks like someone in a terrace house built a shed and the shed just started expanding into a football ground.
They put 2 of them kids' goals either side of the garden. And all of a sudden,
before you know it.
Full-size pitch there, and people are crawling over there watching to go and watch games.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Oh, it's
you know
brilliant.
how, obviously, football originally, before the days when football struggled and financially it wasn't great, the 70s, the 80s, but it was all about community. It was about, football was part of the community. That ground is part of the community, literally.
Yeah. Literally,
and I love it because it's like the
built
embodiment.
into the community.
It is. It's the embodiment of what football is about.
Of course it is.
And I think that's what it is about Luton that just appeals.
Yeah.
I think it is because they are, obviously, we're actually big fans of Luton. We love what they're doing and we love what they're about. So it's certainly not meant in any disrespectful way at all, but they are the smallest team to ever hit the Premier League.
Yeah.
Like even Swindon were a bigger club than Luton. Nobody looked at Luton that season and went, okay, they'll go up.
You know what's scary on that
No,
comment?
not at all.
So
Oldham,
now we love them
on a quick note,
because they're small.
Oldham are currently playing in the conference.
They are. No,
And they're an ex-Premier League team.
yeah. Founder members.
Yeah. And I would probably still say they're bigger than Luton.
yeah. Good, yeah.
And yet, I agree. I love the fact that Luton are there. And I desperately want them to stay up.
I bet there's nobody that supports an established Premier League team that dislikes Luton Town. Apart from maybe Newcastle, as they've really struggled against. Haven't they lost and drawn to them now? They've got 1 point off Luton.
First.
I mean,
But
Raya gave them 2 goals and we still managed to beat them only just because of
I
the
just
second match.
absolutely love Luton. They are that underdog that you just root for.
Yeah.
I think everybody does. As long as they're not playing you, like.
I think that hopefully they do stay up, but I think next season, I think they'd be in trouble.
Oh, they're going to get that second season syndrome, aren't they? Where they really struggle in the second season because they're going to need some. I mean, they've made some decent signings. Barkley and Townsend. I mean, I'm a big fan of Townsend. I think he's a great player. Barkley again.
They ain't got the money to spend, have they? These are players.
That's something I will say about when people moan about Bielsa didn't get the backing and blah blah. Bielsa turned down Ross Barkley. He was handed to us on a plate when we needed players and we were getting mass injuries, getting slaughtered 5-0 and everything every week. And Bielsa went.
So why would he turn him down?
Don't know. But he turned him down. Didn't want Barkley.
Was it his attitude or? Because he's a decent footballer.
But looking at Luton, he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, he's a good footballer.
Because we had him in.
But then it's like Dele Alli, isn't he? Dele Alli, one of the best players around at one point. He was fucking amazing. I mean, albeit he played for the Scum, but I mean, he was absolutely on fire. And then all of a sudden,
he's quite well publicised. He's battling his mental health battles, isn't he? And obviously,
he was all right for fucking 3 years. And this is the point I'm making. Like, if you can battle through it and do well for 3 years, then surely that could continue. Something's happened somewhere that's just triggered him,
or it's an excuse. Shouldn't say these things, but it could just be an excuse.
It's 2024, you're not allowed
but
to
what I
say
mean
stuff
is,
like
you're not allowed to say it. You're not allowed to assume. But my point is, in 2024, when you've got all these excuses banding around, why not use one?
I mean, I've got to be honest, I'm with Tin Ribs on that. I think the world.
When you're used to the gravy train and that gravy train all of a sudden looks like it's about to stop, why not scream depression? Why not scream some problem?
Yeah.
I mean, I do think the world's gone soft.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd have signed Barkley a few years ago because he'd obviously played for us on loan in the Championship when he was young.
Really good as well. Really good player. I was quite shocked. I didn't know that.
So again, we don't know why he didn't get signed. Bielsa obviously didn't think that he was going to do the job. Didn't sign him. Bielsa lost his job. Yeah, there you go. But he's done a fantastic job at Luton. So please carry on. It'd be nice if he actually just like.
Yeah, because like Andrews Townsend, another good player that kind of was dwindling form, and I'm glad that he's found a place there.
Yeah,
as well.
Andrews Townsend.
I'd like to see Luton get more players like that who are sort of like they're just on the fringe works of some of the teams that they're not going to play for, and then just make their way to Luton and just make Luton one of these teams that sticks around for a while.
Havertz, he could go to Luton.
Yeah.
I'd be quite happy for him to go to Luton.
He'd probably reduce their value, but
that's fine because they wouldn't have to pay for him.
Maybe Jesse Lingard should have gone there. Apparently, he's got 26 clubs interested in me. But
well, he's openly stated he's happy to sign for Barcelona.
Yeah, because they want Lingard, don't they?
I know, yeah. Delusional.
Sorry, Jesse.
Do you remember that? What we were saying just about 2024 and people being delusional and stuff. Yeah, Jesse Lingard. There you go.
I mean, Barcelona certainly aren't going to be signing Jesse.
He definitely made a Pete Tong not signing for West Ham.
Yeah, absolutely. He should have signed for West Ham when he had
He did really well for him as well. He actually played really well.
And then he went to Nottingham Forest and sucked.
But to be fair,
because he thought he was bigger than the club.
No one is bigger than the club.
But then when Notts Forest signed 866 players, it's harder to get in the team.
Probably didn't help, I'll be honest. Yeah, they probably struggled quite a bit because
I mean,
you're not going to gel that many players that quickly. It's crazy.
Obviously they did well enough because they stayed up.
Well,
they
doing all right now.
Bribe some quality players though in 866 or whatever number.
One I've spoken about, just Gibbs White, absolutely superb. He's been brilliant.
Yeah.
Wolves
if they do get
Wolves are probably crying about losing him now.
If Forest do get dragged into the relegation battle and they go down, he'll be out the door.
Yeah. I hope we get him. I'd love to get him.
I won't lie. As I look at it at the moment, and looking at how the fixtures went to the weekend, and stuff, I just think the three that are there now are the three to go down.
Be interesting to see Everton go down just because they've never been relegated from.
I'd enjoy that.
They've been there for
so
so many
years.
Shiny
new ground in the Championship.
Yeah. How do you celebrate the Championship first season?
That would hurt, that wouldn't it? That would hurt. You hate Everton, though, don't you?
I do now, yeah.
Why? What's your beef with Everton?
Obviously, well, they're cheats, financial cheats. They've had 6 teams relegated since they started the whole financial cheat thing.
I mean, they were a week away from selling a guy that would balance the books, but I mean, I understand what you're saying.
You listen to the Simon Jordan book. Just because you've got a potential doesn't mean you have it. So let's have the cash in your hand and the potential to sign it.
Yes, but it was blocked. Well, not blocked. It was delayed by the FA. That transfer was. So it should have been done earlier. So I do see your point, and I do see your point.
Did you cheat financially? Yes. Did you breach the rules?
How long's the transfer window open for?
Yeah.
31 days.
Yeah, so you can't complain when you don't get something done in the last few hours.
Yeah.
When you've got 31 days to do your business.
Yeah, so they've been financially cheating for 2.5 years, and now that they've been caught, well, put the hands up and gone, yeah, we are cheats. Congratulations, you've been deducted points. We've been deducted points. So have many other teams. Everybody jumped on the bandwagon of giving sympathy to them. No one gave a shit about any of the other teams that have been deducted points. Yes, I'm going to take it from a Leeds perspective, where we had 2, a 10-point and a 15-point within the start of a season and end of a season. So we've been there.
Portsmouth
You've had-
got a big.
You've had
deduction.
Portsmouth,
Yeah.
Derby. These are all.
Well, ours was. We got a
Southampton.
points deduction that went on. If we stayed up, our points deduction was that season.
Yeah.
But if we already got relegated,
It was deferred.
we had to start the next season with
That's a
certain
bit messed
points.
up,
So
isn't it?
basically, whichever one was going to hurt us the most, it was like, you are getting relegated, whether or not we're going to take the points off you this season or next.
Yeah. So, but no one gives sympathy to that. But for some reason, they all decide to give sympathy to Everton. All the big famous pundits, what's happening to Everton's a shock. Why? Why only them? Always the victims, never the culprits up that way.
Because we're 2024 now. We've been through this, so
No,
we know that
But my point stands that
things are softer now.
they're getting all the fucking limelight and all the sympathy vote. These are the fans who I used to like until they started attacking their own fucking players. When a player is trying to leave the ground in his car with his family, trying to smash the windscreen and banging on the hood and kicking the car is not fucking so good behaviour. So you know what? If that's the way they want to behave, I hope they get fucking relegated. I hope they have to sell their new shiny stand so that they have to rent it and they can't afford the fucker. And I hope they get fucking abolished.
He's doing that thing when he's holding back. I liked it though. They're banging on the hood like he's from fucking Compton.
I'd love to see him hand over that.
I was gonna stab.
With a smile. Congratulations.
I'm going to get fucking shivved.
Could just imagine the Tinners go there. There you go, you can have it. Yeah, that'll go well actually. Any Everton
This
fans
shirt's
that are
back from when I used to like it before your cheating days.
But it's true.
Yeah, it was a non-cheating shirt, that one.
No, I liked them back then. Again, it was only the last couple of years that I've lost respect for them. And it was the moment last season where they were attacking their own players. That's where I lost complete respect. Before that, I preferred them. I didn't mind them. You had the Liverpool fans who no one likes, but then you always felt sorry for Everton because they're lumbered in with them.
You need to correct that because Liverpool fans have a go at me. So we need to add, nobody likes Liverpool fans apart from Liverpool fans. Because I had a Liverpool fan go, well, we support them. Well, obviously you like Liverpool. Fucking hell.
But
So we have to add that in.
you sort of didn't want to lumber them in with them. And then they started attacking their players. It's just not acceptable.
Just to chuck it in, I had a Liverpool fan the other day because I mentioned that Liverpool fans attacked the City bus. And a Liverpool fan genuinely looked me straight in the eyes and went, well, it wasn't that bad though, was it? They'd smashed the windows on the City bus. Like, the players must have been terrified. I don't give a shit if you're on £1 million a week. If someone's hurling bricks at you, that's going to be frightening. And a Liverpool fan genuinely looked me dead in the eye and went, well, it wasn't that bad, was it?
I have to say, getting bricked is terrifying.
Have you been bricked?
Yeah.
Have you actually?
Yeah, but I went to Stoke versus Cardiff away in the playoffs, and Stoke had won, and Cardiff got knocked out, and their fans, there was a lot of rivalry back then, and there lots of fighting and stuff like that, but the coach got smashed in, glass went everywhere and stuff like that. Nobody got hurt, luckily, on our coach anyway. But it was a very cold 10 miles drive with no windows to get us to a safe point where we transferred bus.
Wow. See, that's why you don't hear about Stoke.
And I was around about, I must have early teens, so I wasn't even 18 then, so I was just a kid. I was with all mates from school and stuff, so I wasn't with parents. So
you don't hear about Stoke hooligans because it doesn't do the same damage when you're chucking oatcakes at the windows, does it?
I mean, obviously Stoke were nutters back then.
The naughty 40.
The naughty 40, young casuals as it was, and it was scary times. It's not a trip I'd ever fancy again. Like, you wouldn't go like Millwall and Stoke.
Do you want to know the first game I ever went to? Bearing in mind that my dad had just left home, so my mum didn't really know much about football. First game I ever went to watch, Arsenal v Millwall.
Oh dear God!
Oh.
Yeah. Because my mum didn't know, so she just bought the tickets and went, "Oh, it's near your birthday. I've got your game." I looked at the tickets. even as an 8-year-old, I looked at the tickets and I was like, "Are you serious?" Sure, I thought you'd be happy. If it wasn't Millwall, I might. Like, I mean, luckily we didn't see any actual. There was a load of trouble that day, but we didn't personally see
That's
it. We must have been on the right side of the stadium or whatever. But we heard a bit of kerfuffle, but it just sounded like a bit of arguing. But
Yeah,
there was a lot of trouble that day.
See a lot of trouble with going Southampton away games and that. Very rare you see anything. You might see the odd like mouthing off kind of thing between one or two.
Southampton aren't a threat. See, that's what it is.
Because it's just nice, you know. It's okay being the underdog.
It is when like Arsenal were the underdog today against Liverpool, and when the goalkeeper plays like that. Honestly,
I remember. I mean, we'll go back to
that was right. That's Canate's first yellow. I might edit this out of the actual thing, but that's
that looked a bit round his throat.
Spencer's told me that that's definitely not a yellow.
I would say that was a yellow.
Yeah, but we know that Spen's idea of a challenge is a Paul Scholes classic.
And he's also told me that's definitely not a yellow.
Yeah.
I'm actually 50-50 on that one, I'll be honest. Because yes, he put his arm out to stop.
Yeah, arms are pie, and he does it to block him off. It's a deliberate foul with a high hand.
I think what we're going to do, as we're on now 45 minutes, we're gonna kick it in the nads, and we'll come back next week with more predictions. Hopefully,
and me slipping probably further down the table, and
I'm okay with it.
Not looking forward to a forfeit.
I really don't mind. I'll be perfectly honest with you. So if you have made it this far, we really appreciate it, and then we know we've rabbited on a little bit this week, and it's a bit longer than usual. But we're thinking that we might make it a little bit longer than usual, just because there does seem to be a lot to talk about, and certainly if we've got challenges and stuff on as well. So yeah, let us know, and please go over. I will put it at the bottom of all the descriptions, the YouTube channel, for you to go over and try and get the Everton shirt, which we may well get Tin Ribs to hand over just for giggle.
Please don't.
It'll definitely be there filming anyway. So
yeah, give us a new challenge.
Thank you very,
We'll
very
have
much
to come up with our own soon.
for listening. We really appreciate it. We love anyone that will listen to our absolute drivel for an hour or an hour and 20 minutes or whatever it is. So thank you very much, and we shall see you next week.